Hello, friends, and welcome to our sermon update for this week. We're continuing our sermon series on 7 habits for spiritual life. And this past week, we talked about the habit of being of service. We are taught that we are not born for our own sake, but we are born for the sake of others. That we're actually supposed to devote our lives to the service of others. And Jesus, of course, when he was on earth, said, whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant, just as the Son of Man came to serve and not to be served. So really the whole point of our life and really the source of our happiness is figure out ways that we can be of service. And a lot of that really comes down to what we do in our daily life, like our occupation or taking care of our children, those sorts of things. And if we do them with honesty, with justice and faithfulness, shunning evils as sins when they arise in our life, we actually become a form of charity, and everything that we do becomes of service to the Lord, to our kingdom, to his kingdom, and to this world. So one of the parables that we used to talk about this was the parable of the talents. And we often think of talent as, whether you can play a musical instrument or you have the ability to play a sport, those sorts of things. But really the talents that the Lord gives us picture the truths and goods from his word and the things that really are our spiritual food, our spiritual life. So in the story of the talents, the Lord talks about how he had a man traveled to a far country, he had 3 different servants, and he gave to one of them 5 talents. We might think of them as, just talents of gold. Another one he gave 2 talents to, and to the other he gave 1. And so he went away, and when he came back, he checked in with the servants, and the one who had 5 had traded and had turned his 5 talents into 10 talents. And the master says to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord." And the other servant who had 2 also traded what he had and also earned 2 more. So he had a total of 4 talents. And the master was well pleased with that and said, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Same thing, you've been faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord." Notice the word joy there, that is where joy comes from, of being useful, of using the goods and truths that the Lord gives us to grow spiritually. And then the final servant who had 1, he went and he hid it, he buried it in the ground. And when the master came back, he said, "Look, I knew you to be an austere man, and I thought it would be best to just hide this rather than to try to do anything with it." And so the master was unhappy with that. He took it and gave it to the man who had 10 talents. And so the message is pretty clear that what we're supposed to do in this world, with our life in this world, which is what we'll continue to do after death, is to be of service to others, to serve ourselves so that we have a healthy mind and a healthy body. But that's not the first in end, that's the first in time. We want to take care of ourselves, take care of our families, so that we can be of service. But then we want to figure out how we can be of service to our community, to our country, to the Lord's church. And that's really serving the Lord. When we serve others, we actually serve the Lord as well. So you might think of the currency, if you will, of heaven is love and truth, wisdom, good. These are the things that the Lord gives us that we hope to multiply in ourselves, and we do that by finding ways to be of service without thought of reward for ourselves. All right, I hope that's a helpful recap, and find a way to go do something and help somebody else. You'll find joy in doing that. Well done, good and faithful servant. You've been ruler over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Have a great week.